of the major leagues after winning their 5th World Series. But that championship was about more than baseball. Their names were Pops, Chuck, Teak, Sangy, Bert, and the Candyman. They were more than a team. They were family.
We feel that you people are just as responsible for our winning as we are. Pittsburgh is a big family.
Tonight, that love affair continues as we welcome those players back home for a family reunion as we remember that special team and that special year in the City of Champions. Next on FSN. Tonight we throw back to the feats of Stargell and the We Are Family Pirates. From an era where the Bucks were baseball's best to the 2009 Pirates, who will don the same uniforms and hope to continue and extend a 3-game winning streak. From PNC Park, it's the Cincinnati Reds and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Hi again, everybody. Along with Steve Blass, I'm Tim Neverett. So happy you're with us watching Pirates baseball. You won it in 71. These guys won it in 79. You were close to that team. What are your thoughts on that ball club?
First of all, Tim, just wonderful memories. Watching them run the table. And I think when I think of that ball club, I really think of Willie Stargell because he was responsible for getting us to the World Series in 71. It didn't go well in the series. He got the second chance in 79, and he really cashed it. And what a great World Series. And I just felt so good for him to have that chance of some redemption.
Well, the Bucks are playing a Central Division foe tonight, the Cincinnati Reds. Same team they beat for the pennant in 79, incidentally. But they've struggled against the Central.
Yeah, take a look at the numbers. And, the numbers in this particular case don't lie. 17 and 31. We haven't hit well. We haven't pitched too well. And check the bottom line out. 19 of the next 22 games against the National League Central. So, you're playing against teams you're kind of familiar with. There's a little extra kind of shot in the arm when you beat the clubs that are in your division. So we'll look for the Pirates maybe to continue this run and continue the good homestand. It's a nice start so far.
Starting on the hill for the Pirates is right-hander Charlie Morton. He got roughed up against the Cubs last time out.
He really did, and you wonder how he's going to react tonight because the guy's been around 5 or 7 years, Tim. He'll just shrug that off. But Charlie's not been around all that long, so we'll hope that he can get on the other side of it. Micah Owens on the other side of a shoulder injury that sent him down to the minor leagues for a couple of weeks. We know probably more about his bat than his pitching, so the number 9 spot is still a challenge for Charlie Morton and the Buck staff.
Charlie Morton against Micah Owens. That's the pitching matchup tonight as we look back at Scrap Iron, Phil Garner, and his memories of the 79 season. He'll join us in the booth. And how about the right-hander with the big curveball, Bert Blyleven? He'll join us too. It's the Bucks and Reds coming up.
Leading the way. by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. By your Western PA Toyota dealer, where quality, dependability, and good MPG all come standard. Toyota, moving forward. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO.
Everybody's getting a new hat tonight. Same hat the players are wearing as we start 1979 celebration weekend. The Reds and the Pirates here at PNC Park.
Now, if you got a good memory, you'll remember these uniforms that the Bucks are wearing. They were different.
Let's take a look at Dusty Baker's lineup against the Pirates, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Chris Dickerson leads off. Drew Stubbs, who hit a walk-off home run 2 nights ago. Joey Votto, Lance Nix, Adam Rosales, Drew Sutton, Ryan Hannigan, Paul Janisch, and Micah Owings. Defensively for the Pirates, Lastings, Millage, Andrew McCutchen, Garrett Jones in the outfield. It's LaRoche, Cedeno, Young, and Pierce on the infield. And behind the plate, Ryan Domit catching Charlie Morton.
Charlie making his 12th start as a Pittsburgh Pirate, and I'm interested to see what he does in the first inning because, as we were saying, you know, if you've been around a while, you know, you get beat up like he did in Chicago, you just walk away and get ready for the next start. But you hope that he's gotten on the other side of that, put it out of his mind. And, you know, the first inning might tell you a little bit about how far along the line he has put that thing out of his mind.
Well, maybe the uniform change will help him.
Yep, you know what? And it doesn't matter how you look in the uniform. It's what's inside that counts. These guys won, so it really didn't matter. Everything else is details.
Charlie Morton's first pitch is a fastball strike to Chris Dickerson.
Last win for Charlie was on July 18th. He's had 5 starts since.
And Morton ahead, no balls and 2 strikes.
You didn't get any sense of efficiency or much else the last start against the Cubs when he really got knocked around. But the start before that, only 1 run in 5 innings, but he was removed because his pitch count was right around 100 in the 5th inning. So you hope that he can be better and more efficient.
0-2 pitch. And that one's just low. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dickerson. So Morton now 1 ball 2 strikes, and Dickerson waits. And he strikes out.
Wow. He was looking for something else,
I guess.
Or maybe he's dazzled by the gold shirt that Charlie was wearing, because this is an awkward looking, funny looking swing. I was fooled.
You weren't the only one, apparently.
Yeah. I was looking for the 8:40 flight, and I've got the 11:15 flight.
So Chris Dickerson down on strikes. Now Drew Stubbs. Interesting story. Bob Howery gave up his walk-off home run the other night. He swings at the first pitch. Backpedaling is Cedeno, and he is quickly out. Howery has given up 3 walk-off home runs this year for San Francisco. Garrett Jones hit 1. All 3 have been from rookies. So Stubbs got 1. Garrett Jones had 1. Let's take a look at the tips to win from Rivers Casino.
Yeah, well, very simple. Charlie, recover from Chicago, and so far looking good in the top of the 1st inning. And don't mess with Micah. This guy can hit 8 career home runs by Charlie Morton's mound opponent.
Joey Votto. He missed some time. He has not yet qualified for what would be a league leader. He may show up as the league leader, or one of the league leaders in average at 313, but he still needs 8 more at bats in order to do that. But even if he goes 0 for 8, he'd still be at 310.
Now, I never can keep up with that quite enough, Tim. Is it official at bat or just plate appearances?
It's at bats.
Okay, official at bats. Okay. Not having been much of a hitter, I don't pay much attention to that.
You were always worried about the guys who are getting those at bats against you.
Yeah, how many more at bats does he need against me in a given night?
1-1. 1-2 now to Votto.
Hey, Charlie has pulled the string nicely. He really had Dickerson completely fooled, and Joey Votto right in that neighborhood. Nicely done. When they swing like that, you're not giving anything away. You're not telegraphing that off-speed pitch.
1-2. That is a foul ball. Well, Dusty Baker has had his challenges this year. They are currently, right now, 7 Cincinnati Reds on the disabled list. In 120 games, 99 different lineups he's had to produce. Reds have lost 11 of the last 14 road games. They've struggled. Pirates just a game and a half behind them in the standings. Reds would win in extra innings last night on the walk-off home run by Stubbs, and Votto goes down on strikes in a very solid first inning by right-hander Charlie Morton. Owings and the Reds, brought to you by PNC. Andrew McCutcheon leading off. Delwyn Young second, Garrett Jones third, and in the cleanup spot again is Andy LaRoche. Last 14 games at home, 15 for 50. Ryan Dolet batting in that 5 spot again. Millage, Pierce, Cedeno, and Morton batting 9. Cincinnati defensively. Chris Dickerson in left field, Drew Stubbs in center, Lance Nix is in right, Adam Rosales at third, Paul Janisch the shortstop, Drew Sutton and Joey Votto on the right side of the infield, and Ryan Hannigan doing the catching. And Andrew McCutcheon takes ball 1.
And for Micah Owings out of Cumming, Georgia, 26-year-old right-hander, 6'5", 220, making his 19th start. A little shoulder issue sent him to the minor leagues, put him on the DL. 2-0 to Andrew McCutcheon. He's had 18 starts. He's given up 16 home runs, so there is a home run issue. Originally an Arizona Diamondback. Came over in the Adam Dunn deal.
3-0 to McCutcheon. Again, Johnny Cueto was the scheduled starter tonight, but Cueto came down with some shoulder problems. His right shoulder had been bad. His mechanics were fouled up, but again, an injury, so they have put him on the 15-day disabled list. And a strike. 3-1 to Andrew McCutcheon. 7 different Cincinnati Reds on the DL. 3-1 pitch to McCutcheon. And that's strike 2.
Mike Estabrook, home plate umpire, with the arm up. Not too late, just in time to fill out the count.
Payoff pitch coming to McCutcheon. Fouls it back. And as Steve mentioned, Mike Estabrook calling the balls and strikes. Paul Schreiber is at first base. Kevin Causey at second. Ed Rapuano, the crew chief, is at third. Causey was just here. He was behind the plate on Wednesday when the Brewers completed the sweep. The Pirates completed the sweep of the Brewers, I meant to say. And Causey stays with this crew. Kind of the rotation this week. A lot of Umpire crews will be shifting up, and Causey ended up staying in the same town. 3-2 to McCutchen. And the pitch from Owings. Fouled back.
Tim, wasn't there a pen company, fountain pen company called Estabrooks? Didn't it? Maybe that was before 1979.
You know, I went to school when you didn't have to fill your pen with ink. So,
why did I open that up? I think I remember boosting a couple in the local 5 and dime, but I'm not sure. It might have been something else.
McCutchen hanging in there, 3-2. Owings has his sign from Hannigan. And again fouled back. Well, Steve, nobody really wants to make you feel old. That's one thing.
Right.
However.
Oh, no.
How about that?
Wow. That'll give you a little perspective right there. That's cruel. Very cruel for you people to do that.
Again, the 3-2. And this one to shallow right. Votto will take care of it. 1 down.
Extended at bat for Andrew, but Owings gets him out of there. Joey Votto, as you said, back in the lineup. He had some time out with social anxiety disorder. He had some issues in that direction, but he's back.
Now, I want to correct something I said about Votto earlier when we were talking about he needs 8 more plate appearances. I think I said it back. You said plate appearances. You were right. It is plate appearances.
Thank you. It doesn't happen often, Tim, believe me.
Well, when it does, we need to point it out. Delwyn Young will take a strike from Micah Owings. Corners are playing Young in. Adam Rosales on the grass at third. And Votto even with the bag. Now backing up a step or 2 at first base. And Delwyn Young has been hitting very well, especially against National League Central opponents. A 12-game hitting streak against the Central.
Well, Tim, we can tell the summer is fading because usually early in the year you have that kind of half moon of sunshine for the first couple innings, and now there's no sun issues for the outfielders. We are in the latter stages, deep into August.
Well, good eye by Delwyn Young to take that pitch. That was awfully close to take with 2 strikes.
Not too much history for Owings against the Pirates. He's 1-2, 0-1 this year. He worked early part of May and gave up 5 runs in 5 innings and a loss to the Pirates.
2-2. Way outside, 3-2.
And he is not very efficient. Charlie Morton extremely efficient in the top of the first, but Mike Owens, he's going to be up around that 20 pitch range if he doesn't watch out.
Toward the middle. Giannis behind the bag. 2 away. Coming up during the telecast tonight, FSN Stan Potash will be along. He'll help us out in giving you a chance to get reacquainted with some of the players from 1979 and giving us some of the flavor of the We Are Family season. So we'll check in with Dan in a little while. Here's Garrett Jones. 2 men are on. Bottom of the first inning. And the Reds with their old 1970s look on as well tonight.
Yep. Wouldn't Dave Parker and Willie Stargell love to hit in this ballpark? That short porch in right field.
Well, changed their numbers a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Willie Stargell would have wound up owning a little private marina out back of the grandstand right in the river there.
I don't know how private it would be.
Yeah, right.
This close to the ballpark.
And one of the biggest boats in there probably would have been one that belonged to Mr. Parker, because he would have had half ownership of the marina. The way David could hit the ball. Big
Parker.
man. By the way, that team, when they walked through an airport, it looked like an NFL team. And there's some big fellas on that ball club.
Yeah, Parker might own that one on the left there. That's the bigger of the boats. He might own that one, but that one would only be the one to take him out to his really big boat.
Yeah, the one that Willie owns.
Yeah. Here's the 2-1. 3-1 to Jones. Garrett Jones, 13 home runs. He has the rookie lead in the National League.
Well, he will get to the 20 pitch mark. You multiply that out, complete game, it's 180 pitches.
Ouch. 3-2. So he's gone full to every batter he's faced so far.
Yep, and he's gotten the outs that he's needed so far.
So should we prognosticate right now that he won't finish this game?
Correct. Correct.
See where Garrett Jones ranks, right behind Hannigan. And this one is fisted foul and out of play. Hannigan, a young catcher, doing a nice job. Getting an opportunity, and that's all it takes. Jason Jaramillo had that opportunity when Ryan Doumit was out. Hannigan getting an opportunity to catch now. And that's all you can ask for as a big league ball player.
Yep, when you get up here, get the chance to play. Find out if you're good enough to stay.
So Micah Owings, the payoff pitch again. And he struck him out. 3 up and 3 down the hard way for Micah Owings. Go to the second inning, no score.
'79 World Series championship. Everyone in attendance tonight wearing a replica of that '79 pillbox hat. And the state of Pennsylvania guys actually had a lot of success with this style of hat way before 1979. How about 1909 when the Philadelphia Athletics won several American League pennants and 3 World Series championships? Yes, Connie Mack had a talented group. So did Chuck Tanner. We'll talk to some of the members of that '79 squad throughout tonight's evening. Guys, back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thanks, Stan. Nice shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I know a few people.
Top of the second inning, no score with Steve Blass. I'm Tim Neverett, and it is Lance Nix, Adam Rosales, and Drew Sutton to face Charlie Morton. And Nix has a base hit. Leadoff single for Lance Nix. That one just out of the reach of Delwyn Young. Delwyn kept on going back with it, but just couldn't catch up to it.
Ball not blistered, but finds the grass. First base runner of the ball game. You know, Tim, we got a nice start to the homestand, and it is an extended homestand. You know, the 3 with the Brewers, these 3 with the Reds, and then 3 coming up with the Philadelphia Phillies. You'd love to win those first 3. Now you've got a foundation. You can build yourself a nice little homestand. And
again, you've got a division opponent, too, following another division opponent. So if you can do some damage, that always helps. Pitch inside to Rosales.
People say, what are you talking about? It's been a bad year. Well, you know what? Keep trying to win ball games. And every game you can win, well, that's why you're here, regardless of what the record is. So, yeah,
if the Pirates
win some ball games.
Steve, if the Pirates win 2 of 3 here, minimum, they get out of the basement. and they'll pass Cincinnati. Lasting's millage under this one. There's one out. Lasting's millage records the out. Time for tonight's Radio Shack. What do you know? Did you know that as the Little League World Series gets underway today, Lasting's millage played for USA South in the 1997 Little League World Series. He had 273, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. There he is. He is an alumni of the Little League World Series.
I did not know that.
You do now. There have been a number of Little League World Series alumni to go on and play in the big leagues.
How about Mr. Lloyd McClendon, legendary Lloyd?
There's one.
10 at bats, 5 home runs, and then they walked him 5 times. Legendary Lloyd.
Drew Sutton, second baseman, struggling with the average in limited duty, just 21 games. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, there's some guys in this Reds lineup with minimal number of at bats. Stubbs has 10 now. Sutton 39, Hennigan 215, Janish 108. You said they've been banged up. A lot of new faces been stuffed in that lineup.
Throw over first base. Pierce has it. Nix is back. Lance's brother Jason plays second base for the Chicago White Sox. So Drew Sutton with a home run, 4 runs batted in. Facing Morton. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And this one back to the former Little League World Series participant. He's got it.
Well, Charlie Morton, if you throw a bunch of strikes, your defense has been playing very good. They're ranked very high National League team defense, 35 assists in the outfield. That tops the major leagues, and also tied for the lead in double plays turned in the National League with St. Louis, 131. And people like to say, well, that means there's a lot of base runners on. Well, trust me, every team has a lot of base runners on. So I like the double play number. A lot of base stealers against everybody. So they're out there, turn the double play.
2 outs and Ryan Hannigan at the plate. Hannigan out of Andover, Massachusetts.
Get the ball. Sorry, that was just an old pitcher's reaction. Get the ball.
Get the ball, please.
I don't know if Steve knew that it was gone for a minute. Oh,
well, he's faking. Good job with the invisible ball in his glove.
Where's the ball? I don't know. Third base. Epic Costello routine.
And Hannigan takes high. Hannigan, we mentioned he is the oldest player, 29 years of age, born in 1980. So, and late in 1980, in August. So nobody born prior to 1980.
You know, we covered that, Tim.
On this team. Did I mention that, Steve? Just wanted to make sure you were clear on that. 1-0 pitch. That's inside. 2-0. Take a look at the scoreboard, too.
Wait a minute. That guy over on the right there?
Yes, sir.
He's pretty good.
Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench. What matchups the Cincinnati Reds and Pirates had in the decade of the 70s? Talk to Pete Rose every once in a while. He believes, and he said it several times, it was the best quality of baseball that he was ever around. And Pete remembers every detail of every inning, every second of the day on a baseball field. But it was a great rivalry, great rivalry. I saw a picture, I think, kind of in the background, shaded like that in the previous batter, who was Drew Sutton, of Tony Perez, who was one of my all-time favorite pros in the world of Major League Baseball.
That's what they're doing on the scoreboard tonight for the Reds. They're putting a player from that era.
Fading in, maybe a similar position, same position played. This is Hannigan, the catcher, so they put up Johnny Bench.
3-0 pitch is outside, ball 4. 2-out walk issued to Hannigan. That puts runners at first and second. And the scoreboard also tonight with the old type of font. That's the word I was looking for from Three River Stadium days.
Dave Concepcion Paul Janis, a shortstop, so he's kind of shadowed by one of the best, Eddie Concepcion.
Eric Wolf and crew run the scoreboard here, do a fantastic job.
They do. I'll tell you, you come to this ball game, and yeah, the ball game is the main thing, but you are entertained up on that board from the time you walk in till the time you leave. They do a fabulous job. It's I find myself watching it during the action at times.
Well, I've got some friends in from New York who go to Mets and Yankee games often, and they had their first experience at PNC Park here, and the first thing they mentioned to me was the quality of entertainment for the fan. They said it is exceptional and better than what they get in New York, where you're paying $1,200 a seat. If you're in the front row, which is half price now, by the way. So Joe Kerrigan finishes his chat with Charlie Morton. One of the things that Kerrigan's been talking about with Morton is his focus. Said that sometimes Charlie just needs to get back on track. He'll drift to the right or the left, and Joe's job is to keep him focused.
You don't want to be a drifter.
So Yanish up with runners at first and second, and he lines one to center field. Here comes McCutchen on the run. He just snapped that one right in the glove. Andrew McCutchen. Inning and a half gone by, no score. Let's open up tonight's Geico quote book. How about Teak? Kent Tekulve on his famous eyewear says it's all part of my image. I do all that for a function, never style. I needed an unorthodox motion to get hitters out, and I really couldn't see. But he saw pretty well earning the final out in Game 7 against the Baltimore Orioles, October 17th, 1979. Omar Moreno.
Yep.
And that ended it.
That is a joyous moment right there for a baseball player. What Bob Prince said when Teak threw the ball looked like a barn full of owls just getting out.
It was an accurate and funny description. Andy LaRoche batting cleanup. And he takes strike one on the outside corner. Well, again, there were so many great moments from that season, and obviously that was one of them, and we're fortunate here in our telecast to have Kent Tekulve in studio. Here is a ground ball foul, and yesterday Teak was playing in the group behind me at the Pirates Charities Golf Tournament, and every time we'd play a little slow and they'd pull up behind us and we'd be teeing off, I'd hit it in the woods every time.
On purpose?
Well, no, I was just flustered that Kent Tekulve was in the gallery. But every time he wasn't there, it was probably about 400 and some odd yards straight down the middle.
Laser.
Yeah. Those are the ones nobody ever sees, including myself.
Especially yesterday.
0-2 fouled away. No, actually, I think I hit 3 balls well.
We had a great time out at Fox Chapel. Great turnout. A lot of fun. A few honest scores turned in.
You saying there was some dishonesty on the?
No. I say a few, maybe all.
Oh, maybe all. 0-2. 1-2. How'd you hit him?
I played good, hit him good. You know, it was a scramble format, so everybody kind of took their turn. With a good group.
Well, our scramble turned into a shamble pretty fast. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Andy LaRoche. Nobody out. Bottom of the second. And he takes high, 2-2. Now, in your group, when you're the celebrity in your group, do they want you to putt first, or do you take a look at everybody's line to the hole and you putt last?
There's not nearly that much. We play ready golf. Whoever's ready.
LaRoche hits the 2-2 down to Giannis. He plays it off his belly and throws him out.
That's a good play to stay with that. He was right in no man's land. He couldn't come up and catch it. And couldn't lay back and play too deep. Nice play. That's the correct technique. You don't take that on the side. You take a chance, because if he doesn't get the glove on it, now he knocks it down. It got to him so quick he could still make the play. If he misses it off to the side, it's out in the outfield. So youngsters, keep the ball in front of you wherever you can, whenever you can.
Here's Ryan Doman looking to get it going again. Ryan's been struggling lately, and Cincinnati putting the shift on for him, as did Milwaukee. But the shortstop Giannis playing to the right field side of second base, and the second baseman Sutton playing out in short right field. Third baseman Rosales is at shortstop. Garrett Jones saw this the other night against Milwaukee. He laid one down third, and he could have walked to first base. Doman not necessarily a bunter, but certain times of the game, that's okay. It's you shouldn't do it all the time, but you need a base runner. If they're going to give you a hit, sometimes you take it. Doman hammers the 1-1. This ball is well struck to right center field. It is way back and caught up against the wall. Terrific play by the center fielder, Drew Stubbs.
And that's what is going to happen when you're hitting 218 and you get most of the ball. You get enough height where he can go over it, measure it, and catch it right in front of the Comcast sign. Get time to measure it. Yeah, Micah Owings, like any pitcher, thank you very much. I owe you one. I'll buy the next round.
And Ryan Doman's frustrations continue.
That's the way it's going for you right now, Ryan.
Lastings Millage will come up now. He takes a strike, 0-1. Numbers on Millage. 306 hitter against the Reds. And he lines one into left center for a base hit. 2-out single for Lastings Millage. 1 on now in the second for the Bucks.
Nothing fancy. Right, yeah, just hit the ball hard. Hit the ball on a line and run down to first base. I'll tell you, that is a coordinated outfit, by the way, he is wearing. Coordinated. That is together.
You know, when you look
GQ
at these
stuff,
these uniforms, Steve, the only thing that's missing is the AstroTurf. Although I do like the grass, but the turf's the only thing that is not here from '79. Both teams played on it.
That's exactly right. Riverfront, 3 rivers.
1 ball, no strikes, and the throw goes over, and Millage dives back safely. Pierce takes inside. Steve Pierce has been playing very good defensive first base. Seen him make a lot of nice plays, a lot of good plays with a backhand.
Short hops. Yep.
the Pirates hoping his bat comes around and he becomes more consistent with it. His first trip up here this year was not very good. Was sent back to Indianapolis, got his act together, hit the ball rather well in AAA, earned himself a return trip. Pirates told him they'd give him an extended look at first base. And here he is. Three balls and no strikes. And the throw over to first again.
Come on, Pirates, let's go! We yell up here?
My hairdresser just came by, Bert Blyleven.
Let's go, Pirates, let's go!
There you go. The Dutchman is here. The Dutchman is here.
Yeah. Bert taking a little time off from the Twins to join us this weekend. And he'll join us here very shortly. Didn't they say no cheering in the press box?
Oh, there is. We're Pirate fans.
3-1 the count to Pierce. Here's Owings' pitch. And Pierce to left field. And this one is right at Chris Dickerson for the out. So the Pirates will strand one. We're back with Bert Blyleven in a moment.
The Pirates have won the National League Championship and go on to the World Series. The Pirates have beaten the Cincinnati Reds in 3 straight, and there was no doubt about it. Pirates won by their...
Hey, Bert, how does that sound? How does that look?
How does Geronimo take that pitch? My goodness, he's got to swing through that ball. He can't take that for a called third strike.
I've seen a lot of your
Thank you.
curveballs taken for called third strikes, trust me.
I tell you what, well, we're here to reminisce about the 30-year reunion back in 1979, and it's good to see everybody. My goodness, we're having a great time. Yes, we're having a great time.
How does it feel, though, when you come back and you see that same uniform that you guys wore?
The only thing missing is the the stars from Willie Stargell.
And the turf.
And the turf, yes. But this is a beautiful ballpark. My goodness, they did it right here. You know, broadcasting for the Twins, I've had an opportunity to come here, I think 3 years ago.
Yep.
We did a game here. Unbelievable ballpark.
Yeah, you can't buy this setting. You either have it or you don't.
Owings to second base. Delwyn Young didn't get him.
Now, see,
Base
I'm
hit
only here
Owings.
for a half inning, so that's why he beat that out right there, because we've had guests up in our booth, and you are praying that give me a quick 1, 2, 3 inning. But with me, you know what? Wow, Cincinnati's at bat. No, we need a quick 1, 2, 3 inning. We need a double play right now.
You know what's going to happen, Bert? It's going to be like some of those innings we had.
Yeah. Back up third, back up home.
Yeah, I've been wanting. I knew you were coming up. I wanted to ask you the ball club you had in '79 was such a good ball club, obviously, but the pieces you put together, sometimes you get pieces during the season and they just don't fit, but you guys had pieces that fit when you got what, Madlock and Foley. I mean, they were just perfect fits.
Well, Phil Garner at second, you know, of course, Pops Willie Stargell at first, and then out in the left field you had Bill Robinson, Omar Marino, Dave Parker, along with Lee Lacey, Mike Easler, John Milner. I mean, we had a great ball club. Behind the plate, Manny Sanguian, Ed Ott, Steve Nikosha.
Yeah, depth.
We really did. And you know what was so nice? And we had something out here in front of the stadium from 6 to 7, just kind of a question and answer, and thanking the fans for their support over the years of Pittsburgh Pirate baseball. But Chuck Tanner, what a man. What a manager, you know, because we had a lot of characters on that ball club, but he let us play.
Yeah.
You know, I remember one time he had one of our players, you know, around his throat, but you know, that's just the way that we played the game. We played the game hard. You know, with Candelaria and Don Robinson and, you know, Jim Bibby, Jim Rooker.
I walked
Bruce
into some of
Keeson,
those clubhouses
Kent
sometimes, and it
DeColby.
was chaos.
Oh.
But then you played the anthem, and you played.
Right.
They
Yeah.
played good.
Yeah, we knew how to play between the lines, and that was our biggest plus. You know, as a starting pitcher, you knew what your job was, and that's hopefully get into late into the ball game. And then Chuck would pinch hit for me because I was a terrible hitter. That's why I had 20 no decisions in 1979, which is a major league record.
Which is unusual for you because you pitched a lot of ninth innings. A lot of ninth innings.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I love my time here in the National League, but I like the American League because they never pinch hit for me. I could go 9. You know, that's the way I was brought up.
3-1 to Chris Dickerson, line to center field. That's going to get down in front of Andrew McCutcheon. So 2 men aboard with nobody out here in the Cincinnati third.
Now, Tim, seeing these uniforms, I mean, they do bring back some memories right here.
And not just this uniform. Hooley was your clubhouse manager. He had to be part of a nightmare on the road to take, what, 16 different sets of uniforms?
Yeah, we had the stripes black, the stripes white, and all that. I mean, we didn't know what we were going to wear.
No wonder Hooley had that styrofoam cup a good bit of the evening.
Yes, he did. He was just make sure it wasn't sour.
That's right. You mentioned Chuck Tanner. You know, he is so revered around this area. It was just so great to see a guy who is that much an ambassador of baseball wear that World Series ring. I mean, it just seemed to be the right thing to have happen.
You know, in that '79 World Series, you need things to go your way. And of course, the death of Chuck's mother, just kind of after Game 4, it just kind of I think put everything in perspective, and we just kind of took it to the next level. Jim Rooker pitched great 5 innings. If your viewers out there know anything about the '79 World Series, Jim Rooker pitched great. He was down 1-0 against Mike Flanagan of the Baltimore Orioles. We were down 3-1, and then our offense all of a sudden came alive. You got to be able. That's what's lost in the game today too, Steve. Is that the bunts?
Yep.
You need to do the little things to win ball games.
Well, I think too. We talk about it so many times. It's almost like some of the youngsters who are good ball players and could become good major leaguers maybe haven't perfected their craft down the minor leagues before they get there. That fundamental, that basis, that foundation you work from.
Well, you went through it. You played the game the right way. You played the game the right way, and when you come up here, you have a job to do right here. And it looks like Stubbs has asked for, you know, this is his job, is to advance the runners.
We'll take a cut with 2 strikes. Still an 0-2 count on Drew Stubbs. When you look back at that World Series, and especially Game 7, we talked about pitching, we talked about Kent DeColvey earlier, but the moment before that when Willie Stargell hit the home run to put the Pirates in front, what were the emotions like when you saw that ball off his bat?
Well, I was out in the bullpen with Jim Rooker and Ed Ott. Actually, Steve Nikosha started that ball game behind the plate because of the left-hander Scotty McGregor, I believe, started that Game 7. We were like, he's going to do it anyway.
It's the hard way.
He gets jammed, but he's still able to advance the runners.
Yeah. This had to be this is a shot of adrenaline and joy. Let me see this.
Now watch the guys out in the bullpen. I was out there.
Yeah. Yes.
We jumped on his back. I tell you what, I wish he was still here. What a great man.
Well, you know what? He got us to the World Series in '71. He had a bad series. It was so great to see him have that second chance, and boy, did he cash it in. Cashed it in.
What a man that loved the game and loved life.
Yeah.
You know, in Minnesota history, it's Kirby Puckett. Willie Stargell was Kirby Puckett.
He had the right perspective on the whole thing.
Yes.
And could he hit? Could he? He could hit.
You went on to win another World Series with Minnesota in '87, but how much more special was it to get the first one?
Well, I mean, as a player, Steve would know, you know, I mean, you dream about it. You dream about it as a kid, falling in love with the game of baseball. I grew up in Southern California. I idolized Sandy Koufax and Don Drysdale, and you know, these were the guys that I wanted to be. And then when the Angels moved to Anaheim, California in 1966, I went out to as many games as I could just to watch how these pros did it. And, you know, my first opportunity, I came up at 19 years old to the major league level, but I think it was only because I followed the game. I loved the game. I watched the game. I watched how other guys did. And I said, what can I use in their everyday routine to make me better? And I kind of, you know, God gave me two ears. You take in what you want in one ear, and if you don't need it, you take it out, put it out the other ear.
This will get a run in as Delwyn Young throws out Joey Votto. 1-0 Cincinnati, and down to third goes Dickerson. 2 men out.
You know, I was very lucky because when I came up at a young age, I had Jim Perry, Jim Cotton, Louis Tion, Dave Boswell. And that back in 1970, we had a 4-man staff. So when Boswell and Tion got hurt, darn it, they were looking for someone to come up, and I had my opportunity.
Well, that's
you make the most out of it.
You beg for those things, and you never know how they're going to break out and when you're going to get them, but you got to run with them.
But how can you not love this game? I mean, night after night, you don't see the same thing.
Lance Nix, slow roller to second, and that'll do it. Well, Bert, we appreciate you coming by and celebrating with us here.
Let's go Pirates, okay? We're going to come back and win this ball game.
Bert, it's great to see you, man.
Thank you.
Always.
McDonald's new McCafe coffees, creamy lattes, rich mochas, and frothy cappuccinos. Only at McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Day Automotive, we're going to make your day.
We check out this day in Pirates baseball history. August 21st, 1979. The Cobra Dave Parker hits his 22nd home run of the season, but the Pirates would fall to the Giants 6-1. Thanks to Day Automotive. Well, we talked to Bert Blyleven. Now another member of that 1979 We Are Family team joins us. Phil Garner. Great to see you, Phil.
Good to see you.
First question, who's talking more down there, Rooker or Candelaria?
Well,
I know the stories are flying.
Well, Candy hadn't said much. Rooker had the microphone and took the batteries out of everybody else's mic, so Rooker's been talking the whole time.
Oh, boy, but it's fun. I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah, great stories. And you know what it is, Steve? Once you start telling these stories, it jogs your memories, and it keeps going, and now there's just more great stories. Actually, what we should do this for a whole week.
Mm-hmm. The only thing that messes you up, now they got this internet, so if you tell the lies, they can research this stuff. It used to be fun. Well, nobody knew.
Yeah, you could make a few things up, but actually these aren't made up, and there's some fabulous stories.
Yeah, none of which we can tell. But
well, there's actually some pretty good stories in there. We were just, Parker and I were going at each other all the time. We had some, fun things, and we were, the coach had jogged my memory there. We were talking about Parker. Parker had signed one of the first really big contracts, certainly big for Pittsburgh. He shows up late for spring training. We're playing our first game, so that's how late he was to the game. And I'm biting on him the minute he gets there. He's overweight, he's fat, and I'm getting all over him. I'm calling him everything you can imagine, saying, look, you're supposed to be a leader on the club, and you're nothing but a fat slob showing up late. He gets in his car and drives down to Sarasota. We're playing the Twins, or the White Sox in the first game. He's not seen a pitch now, not had batting practice, not worked out. He sees about 3 pitches. The first swing he takes, he hits a home run. So now I'm still biting at him, and he's saying, "That's what
a bullseye now."
Well, that's what he coined the phrase. That's what he coined the phrase. I'm biting on him, And he said, "Listen, don't worry about me. When the leaves turn brown, I'll be wearing my second batting crown." And so what are you going to say? So. Yeah, I tell him, look, Parker, I've been here for 6 weeks. I'm grinding. We had a couple. Foley's been here for a month. He's grinding. We're trying to be as good as we can be. We need you to lead this ball club. And he said, why don't you just don't worry about a thing. So we're biting second at bat. He goes up. He sees 3 or 4 more pitches. When he takes his second swing, hits his second home run out of the ballpark. He trots around the bases. He says, what do you think about that? Keeps running right on across home plate, gets in his car, and drives home. So what are you going to do?
There's not much you can do.
You can't. Talent's going to win out.
Yeah, boy.
And he had an abundance of it.
He's a big man with big talent.
And he was fun to watch play. He was a great player.
Now, how are you walking through airports? I was telling Tim that your ball club looked like an NFL team coming through an airport. You might look like a mascot or somebody.
Well, yeah,
big boys.
Yeah, listen, Tim Foley and I started all the fights, and that's because we had Jim Bibby, who unfortunately is not with us on this trip. But you got Bibby, you got Candelaria, you got Parker, you had Stargell, you got Ed Ott, who can whip anybody, know. And so we would throw the first punch and then look behind us, see who was backing us up.
Backup. I need backup.
Yeah.
Well, Cedeno throws a punch at Polianish at shortstop. He comes away with it, so 1 away.
There goes Tim Foley up in the air. Now, Tim would come in and discuss it, I believe.
No, he wouldn't discuss it. He'd tell you what you did wrong and why you should have been doing this. I'd say, Tim, just go play your position. I'll play mine. He said, no, you need to be over. You need to be over. And then go tell the pitcher he shouldn't have been throwing that pitch.
Well, Bill Verdon tells a great story about Foley when he had him early down in Puerto Rico, and he said it got to the point, you know how Bill is. He said, I sat him down next to me on the bench, and he said, don't you move. He had Foley right next to him, and he wouldn't let him move, and that had to kill Tim.
Oh, no, if he couldn't talk or if he couldn't run around. He's one of the most hyper guys we've ever seen. But Foley is a great baseball guy. He's managing in the national organization right now, and he's not with us on this particular trip.
How about Charlie Morton with another base hit?
Yep, Charlie, take a left. Usually you take a right there.
Oh, he got the stop sign right there. Well, we go back, going to the Wayback Machine here, Phil. You see Tom Terrific on the hill.
Oh, he's going to try to throw me that stinking little slider he's got him when he hit it out of the ballpark. It looked like he threw it over the middle of the plate, didn't he?
I don't know.
Let's don't show that very often, because I always said that ball was down and away, maybe 3 or 4 inches off the plate.
Boy,
that's opposite field power now. That's explosive power right there, Steve.
Yeah, I understand the opposite field. You know, these middle infielders start hitting the ball the opposite field. I'll tell you.
You're trying to say they don't make them like they used to?
Well, no, you're going to question it, but we didn't even know what steroids was in those days. We couldn't have gone there.
So Andrew McCutchen at the plate with Charlie Morton aboard here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. 1-0 Cincinnati. And it was the Reds that you beat for the National League pennant in '79 to go on to play Baltimore in the World Series. You hit over 400 in the NLCS, 500 in the World Series. Offensively, you were getting it done.
Well, if you're going to get hot late in the season, it's good.
It's a good time to do it.
When the leaves get brown.
When the leaves turn brown. Actually,
Owings to Sutton, and McCutcheon going to be safe at first base, and that keeps Phil Garner around a little longer.
Well, I was actually hitting and swinging the bat real well. At the end of the season, I was playing well, and in the playoffs, I actually hit the ball good. I think every at bat. In the World Series, I didn't, but I got hits. You know how that goes. So I was just I was on one of those rolls, and it was fun. Of course, we all were. If you go back and look at everybody on our ball club, in that everybody had a great offensive World Series, and the ironic thing about it is Baltimore had the great pitching. They had 3 20-game winners, so they had kind of suggested that they were just going to shut us down, and most of the pundits thought that the Buccos weren't going to fare very well in that series, because we all know that great pitching beats good hitting, and so didn't play out in that series. Actually, the hitting kind of beat out on the good pitching.
What a decade of rivalry with the Pirates and the Reds. A decade of that's quality baseball.
You were there. The Reds had great teams. We had great teams, and it was fun to play. But you're talking about Cincinnati, but I think in for the last couple of years, probably 77, 78, 79. I'd say that the Phillies were the ones we hated the worst. We had fights with them every time we played. Of course, was that
the Keeson Schmidt thing?
Bruce Keeson was going to hit Mike Smith every time, and Mike Smith would say, "Bruce, why you hit me?" And he'd say, "I'm not trying to, but I'll hit you again if you're going to say anything." Boom, he'd hit him again, and we'd have a fight. So. And
then '78 was a great run that you had against them.
Yeah, and they ended up beating us, in '78 and going on to the World Series, but. I'll bet you if you went in and asked all those guys on 79 right now, would you rather go back to the World Series, or would you rather go out here in the parking lot and choose up and play against the Phillies? I bet every one of them say, let's go play those Phillies. We'll beat them. We'll beat Lazinski. We'll beat Schmidt. We'll beat those guys.
Yeah, that was great. So much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was good. Who's Steve Carlton anyway? Well, Tug McGraw's nobody.
Were you rooting for the Pittsburgh Penguins this year, or were you not? Because the Pirates were the last team to win a Game 7 on the road in any major sport.
I want to see the Penguins. I think once you're part of a city, and you have when we were here, it was City of Champions. The Steelers had won.
Yep.
That might have been their third series at that time. Their third championship at that time, and then. University of Pittsburgh, Tony Dorsett were national champions, and so we coined the City of Champions. So,
and what a frosting on the cake for the Steelers and the Pirates, to win it in the same year.
Yeah, it was fabulous. It was fun. So, no, I root for the Penguins and I don't know anything about it. Growing up in Tennessee, we didn't, We maybe have a hailstorm was
you didn't have a local rink, did you?
No, we didn't. No,
buy ice at the convenience store.
Yeah, that's it. So I've been to a Penguin game, and I still don't know anything about the hockey, but they're pretty good athletes. I can tell you that.
Team who scores the most goals wins.
Is that always the case?
Usually. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes they'll tie.
Is that a blast axiom? Is that
No.
Okay, all right.
I'm not smart enough. What's going on with your life right now?
Grandkids, a lot of golf. I actually have golfer's elbow. I didn't know there was such a thing, but I had a shot for it. I had a shot for it the other day. So I'm enjoying life. I do have some business interests, but primarily I'm goofing off, to be honest about it.
I've never heard of golfer's elbow. I'm scared to death, man.
Well, chances are you might soon.
Well, it's great to have everybody around. You talk to people around the city, and the memories of the championship teams. It's amazing how many. There are a lot of veteran fans around here who just can't let it go, and it's wonderful that they don't.
Oh no, it's fabulous. It's always fun to go back. I got in last night, and I was walking around, and some people, you're just walking on the street. I didn't even recognize my own players when I was walking down the street, and it's really fun to come back, have people recognize you, reminisce, say, hey, thanks, we had a lot of fun, and one kid today, I was playing golf. One kid was about 40 years old, and he was telling me, hey, I was 9 years old when when I watch you guys play. And you think 30 years, my goodness. But, you know, it was a big part of people's lives in there, and that's fun.
Well, now that you've got golfer's elbow, do you miss being a skipper?
You know, there's certain parts of the game you do miss. I've had fun, and if I don't ever do it again, I'm fine. I'm happy with the way things have gone. I've had a storybook career, both as a player and a coach and a manager, and it's been a lot of fun. So I don't think I've missed out on anything. I do like it. I enjoy it. I don't miss it when I'm not in it, but I do enjoy it when I'm doing it. There's nothing that can take the place of playing. Unfortunately, we all get to the point where we can't play. Yeah. And then the next best thing is probably coaching, and then the next best thing from that is managing. Or the greatest thing, if you can't play, is to manage, where you feel like you have a way to affect the ball game. And so I truly enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Dusty Baker and I matched wits a few times, and so it brings back good memories on that too.
If we have time, I want to ask you a question, Phil. You take the World Series away, if we can eliminate that, what are you most proudest of in your baseball career, baseball related career, if you had to take the World Series?
Well, if you take I only had, I think if go back in my career, I remember as a player, I only played on one team that wasn't in a pennant race down to the last 2 weeks of the season. And I'd like to think that I had a little bit of part in that. Of course, it's not one player that does that. You have to have great players. I mean, you're playing with stars on Parker here. Had great players down in Houston when I was there. And but being a part of those teams and being able to do things to fit in and year out and have a career where people say, they come back and say, hey, man, I love watching you play. You played hard. And I appreciate that moniker, and I'm proud of that. So it's probably, there's always, great moments like the All-Star games.
Proudest of that you play hard. That's hard to beat.
But just playing hard, and people remember you for that. There's a lot of pride there.
Absolutely, and there should be.
The name Scrap Iron, well earned. Garrett Jones hammers this one to deep right field. Gone! 3-run home run. Garrett Jones, his 14th of the year. And the Buccos with a 3-1 lead.
Now, as a former manager, you got to love the 3-run home run. Is there anything better?
Oh, no, there's nothing better besides that and a double play. But 3-run homer is the most exciting thing going.
Yeah. We've had some fun with Garrett Jones. We got him from Minnesota, and he's strong.
Man, he's been doing well, hasn't he? Well, that's great.
That's become his porch out there above the Clemente wall in right field. Garrett Jones loves sitting here at PNC Park, and he's driven a number into those seats up there.
And, one of the things, and you can appreciate a guy that's strong, Phil, doesn't have to overswing. So it doesn't have to be one of those ones from the heels like some home run hitters do.
It's so surprising because in a ballpark like this, you should be able to get hitters to become better hitters, because to left-handed hitters, you say, look, you can just almost look away because with the short porch.
Andy LaRoche over toward the line. Dickerson, he's going to make the grab. And that's going to do it. Scrap Iron, we got to get
you back down to the party.
All right. Enjoy it, guys.
It's great to see you. A pro.
He got us a home run.
All right.
definitely worth the click. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
Let's take a look at tonight's Aflac trivia question. Pirates with a 3-1 lead on the shot by Garrett Jones. Parrott likes it. Duck likes it. 1979. Who led the National League in stolen bases, and how many did he have?
So that's the Aflac trivia questions.
Yes.
Come on, one at a time, guys.
Yes. Well, so if you only get the name, you get it half right.
Yeah.
So, 1979.
Okay, I know the name, and I'm just going to say lots of them.
We'll give you the answer in the bottom of the fourth. Well, thanks to Bert Blyleven and Phil Garner for joining us. Good story. I still like the line very much from Dave Parker. When the leaves turn brown, I'll have my second batting crown. Adam Rosales, 0 for 1 tonight. 2 balls and no strikes to Rosales. Rosales flied out to Millage in left field.
Well, when I first came up, the Pirates had a lot of struggling teams, so we used to say when the leaves turn brown, we'll be driving out of town.
Strike on the outside corner.
And going back to Connecticut and getting a job.
What did you do? What was the...
I worked for an athletic reconditioner.
You did?
Yep.
That's through into left field for a base hit. So Rosales, a leadoff single in the Cincinnati half of the fourth. So what types of things did you do?
Well, on Mondays, I had to go pick up uniforms from about 20 different high schools from their Saturday game. And if it was a muddy game, by Monday, they were a little gamey. It was a nasty, nasty job. Fill up burlap bags with shoulder pads and dirty football pants and mud all day Saturday, and then sitting around Saturday and Sunday. It was a lot of fun. A lot of incentive to get to the big leagues.
To get back to spring training or to winter ball.
And I did that, and that was an easier job, but it was dangerous down in the Dominican Republic.
Well, you were telling me they had machine guns in the dugouts. Not the opposing team, but the guards
on each end of each dugout. Capablancos. They were military police with big guns.
Drew Sutton. He takes outside.
Well, Phil Garner mentioned that the 3-run home run is the manager's best friend. Second to the home runs is the double play. So the Pirates, again, they're tied with St. Louis for the most double plays term, 131. Be a nice spot for one here.
Garrett Jones hammering his 14th of the year.
And how about one with 2 runners on base? That's not his MO.
It's only the 3rd home run he has hit with any runners on. So that's a good trend to see him start hitting them with runners on base.
What, 11 solos?
Yes, sir.
It's all right. Keep hitting them. We'll find some way to get some people on in front of you. That's not your responsibility. The home runs are.
2-0 pitch. It's 3-0. Charlie Morton struggling a bit here to start the 4th inning. He's got a 2-run lead at 3-1.
And you can believe that Joe Kerrigan, as you mentioned earlier, wanted to make sure that he maintains his concentration. If he sees the need to go out there and remind him of that, he will.
And he may come up the stairs right about now. That's my guess. Yep, here he comes. 2009 Pirates baseball on FSN Pittsburgh is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines is ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on.
Now, the psychology of a pitching coach is kind of interesting because you got 12 guys on the staff. There are some guys, and you never know what the mix is. Some guys, you have to kick them in the rear. Some guys, you have to kind of pat them on the back, put your arm around their shoulders. And it's up to you as a pitching coach to find out which approach is best. Now, you might be out there say, hey, Charlie, come on, straighten up here. You know, we just got you a 2-run lead, 1 swing of the bat. Don't give it back. Or worse to that effect, or maybe something mechanical. But I would think it's more, hey, throw the ball over the plate. Get these guys, let them have a chance to help you.
2 on, nobody out for Ryan Hannigan. Strike 1.
Mr. Hannigan certainly got his money's worth on that swing, and he got a piece of Mike Estabrook. Oh. buckles but doesn't go down. Nobody has to go to a neutral corner. That's a mask, and that protects you, but it still gets your attention.
Well, that'll wake you up. And if you're ever in the mood to take a nap as a home plate umpire, it should wake you up. One and one to Hannigan. Well, the Reds start the night 51 and 69. And again, the Pirates just a game and a half behind the Reds in the Central Division standings. And the 1-1 misses. 2-1. So out there on the base paths, Rosales at second base, Sutton at first. Rosales had the leadoff single, and Sutton walked. So now Charlie Morton trying to find a way to get an out. Number 7 hitter Ryan Hannigan at the plate. The pitch missed again. 3-1. So trouble's brewing for Morton.
And Charlie's control has really not been the issue. He walked 3 in that debacle in Chicago last time up, but before that, really a good ratio.
And a strike. Now, we saw a situation like this back in April in Cincinnati. 3-2, runners on first and second and nobody out. Dusty Baker sent the runners, and Cincinnati hit into a triple play.
I was just going to be trying to think about strike him out, throw him out, but yeah, I'll take the triple play.
That happened back in April. Runners stay, and this one a ground ball toward the middle. Cedeno's got it. He's got one out to get, and he gets it.
Yeah, really, Sutton got down to second base very, very quickly, and the play had a lot of spin on it away from Cedeno, so he was able to corral it and, as you say, get the out that was available. I'm wondering, yeah, plus the Delwyn Young had slipped, so yeah, that really was the only play available. It would have been a little awkward kind of going back after going in one direction and flipping it back, but Delwyn Young was not on his feet, so yeah, get the out at first.
Paul Janisch, shortstop. A couple of times this year he's had to actually pitch in a game, Steve, when the Reds are being blown out.
Janisch
gave up a home run.
Now you might say in certain situations, well, we'll kind of work around this guy and work against the pitchers. Not so against Micah Owens. He is much too dangerous with the bat.
Big series of signs there by Doman. Good pitch, swing and a miss.
Nicely done, pulling the string on the off-speed pitch. Saw a couple of real good off-speed pitches in the first inning when he was very sharp. 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts.
Two and one. Well, that's a big weekend as the Bucks celebrate 1979 tomorrow night. It'll be a celebration on the field before the game, and the majority of that roster from 1979.
Got a great turnout.
There.
Great turnout.
Yeah. Met Grant Jackson yesterday out at the Fox Chapel Golf Club in the Pirates Charities Golf Tournament. Real nice guy. Also met your former roommate, Bob Friend.
Yep, first roomie in the big leagues, 1964.
He told me you had a triple-digit number when you first showed up.
Well, what he didn't tell you is number 214 hit a home run off him in Pompano Beach. It was a spring training game.
No, that sort of slipped his mind.
He helped me a lot.
Right down to third. Great play, LaRoche.
Yep.
2 down.
And now Charlie Morton has a chance to get out of this. And Micah Owens is a very good hitter, but he's still a pitcher. And a nice reaction play by Andy. Looks around, nothing available, so he'll give it back to Charlie. So this matchup still favors Charlie Morton, still favors the pitcher against Micah Owens, but he certainly is dangerous.
2 years ago, Micah Owens with Arizona, the National League Silver Slugger Award winner at his position as a rookie. swing and a miss. During his college days, Steve, he went to Georgia Tech, then transferred to Tulane. And at times he played first base, at times he played designated hitter, and of course he pitched. But he was very well known as a hitter in college.
Well, he's got to do better with that changeup. You've got to leave that one alone. It was a great start for Charlie Morton with Micah Owens just sitting dead on the fastball. Started the swing early and swung at a bad pitch.
Morton ahead in the count, 0-1. One thing he has talked a lot about recently is getting ahead, getting first pitch strikes.
No, not a bad sequence there. The low changeup, then the high fastball, but Owens was not biting on that one.
This is game 1 of 3 with the Reds. These two teams have not faced one another since the 3rd of May.
That's because they played each other 40 times in spring training.
Not anymore.
No, the Reds are gone. And what, Baltimore in?
Baltimore's into Sarasota. Yep. So the Reds are going out to Arizona. And Baltimore's doing a very good thing because where they were is pretty far away from everybody else. So now they get in the mix, close to Bradenton, close to Tampa with the Yankees.
Fort Myers not that far away.
Port Charlotte down the road. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs and 2 on. And Charlie Morton
trying to wiggle out of the jam here in the 4th inning.
It's a 3-1 lead, 3-run home run by Garrett Jones.
And you want to let that stand up as long as you can. You don't want to give that one away so quickly. And a base hit could give it away.
That's toward the middle. Cedeno gets a good hop, throws off balance. He's got him. And Charlie Morton does indeed wriggle off the hook. Through 3.5, it's 3-1 Pirates. Bases and a bonus. How many did he have?
Well, I'm going to guess Omar Moreno, and I'm going to guess 90 bases or 77.
77 was a very good guess, Steve.
That was my second guess.
Omar Moreno, he could get it done. He was tough at the plate and also on the base paths, very hard to throw out. Good head first slide. Again, they just couldn't get him. Great wheels from Omar Moreno. 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 run on 4 hits. Bucks big hit off the bat of Garrett Jones. Charlie Morton so far okay, as the Bucks will hit in the bottom of the 4th inning. Ryan Domit, Lastings Millage, Steve Pierce, the scheduled hitters, along with Steve Blast, Tim Neverett. Glad you're with us tonight watching Pirates baseball on a throwback night to 1979. When you look at today's uniforms, which are generally either white or gray, sometimes the team base color, the Pirates' alternate uniform jersey is black. I mean, the gold tops just look out of place today. However, when you put them in context, it's actually really neat to see these. And the scoreboard,
got the Stargell Stars beside Ryan Domit there. It looks like the headshots on the old Topps baseball cards, where it was just completely just the face.
Oh, Lance Nix just took one away. Ryan Domit has hit the ball well twice tonight, and the Reds have made 2 terrific plays on him. Drew Stubbs took one off the wall in center his first time up. And watch Lance Nix here.
Yep, good play. Ooh, he almost got under that ball. Ryan Domit would still be running. And there's no consolation. Don Long is going to be happy about these 2 at bats, but Ryan Domit's not going to be. The divider there.
Lastings Milledge hammers one down the line. Gone. Solo shot for Milledge, his second home run as a Pirate, and it's 4-1 Pittsburgh.
Break out the long ball. Little show for those 79 Pirates that are watching by these 2009 Pirates as Garrett goes deep and Lastings laces one into the stands over the State Farm sign. Nice.
The Pirates have now homered 8 times over the last 3.5 games. Boy, Milledge.
Line drive. Is it high enough? You know it's hit hard enough. Is it high enough? And the answer is yes.
Milledge 2 for 2. He just absolutely crushed it. Steve Pearce looking for some of that luck.
So 2 hard hit balls here by the Pirates in the bottom of the 4th inning.
1-800-SAFE Auto reminds you that you're safe at home with Safe Auto, proudly supporting the Obadiah Cole Foundation for prostate cancer screening and awareness. Early detection is the cure. 0-2 to Pearce.
That's number 18 given up by Owings, and this his 19th start.
That's certainly not a number he's proud of. Ryan Domit, he's going to get one. He's just hitting the ball too hard not to. 0-2 pitch again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hitters go through periods of time where it gets into the head. And right now it's probably more into the head of Ryan Domit. He's trying to get it out. John Russell and hitting coach Don Long have told him, just trying to relax. They moved him out of that cleanup spot in order to give him an opportunity to do that. This one to short right field. Second baseman Sutton will make the catch for the second out.
Well, if he keeps swinging the bat like he has in his first 2 at bats tonight, he will start to find some hits. But no consolation when you're struggling.
He hit the ball on the nose. It's a base hit most other nights, and the helmet gets the worst of it. And now the difficult job to flip the switch. I mean, you can't take your bat with you to the field. Just like if you make an error, you can't take your glove with you to the plate. There's 2 very separate parts of the game, and you have to be able to separate them in order to be a good ball player and a disciplined ball player.
Yeah, you start worrying about your last at bat when you go out there, or your last hitter that you face that lit you up, and you can't let that go, and you get some problems.
1-1 pitch. 2-1 to Cedeno. Now Ronnie on a base hit taken away from him by Paul Giannis, the shortstop. It looked like Tim Foley going up there grabbing it out of the air.
Or Concepcion.
Either one. Concepcion was pretty good. And this one popped up shallow center. There is Sutton again. And he's got it for the out. But the Pirates will add another run here in the 4th inning as Lastings Milledge. First ball swinging, drives it out down the left field line for home run number 2. Milledge and the Pirates with a 3-run lead.
1979, Pirate catcher Ed Ott takes Tug McGraw deep. And into the night. It's not playable. Just one of many big moments in 1979. And from 1979 to 2009, and Ed Ott joins me now. And big party going on in there. How much are you enjoying reminiscing about the old days?
Oh, I love it. Coming back and seeing these guys after 30 years, I'm surprised this many's alive after the way we played as hard as we did and many fights as we were in. We're still in pretty good shape.
One real quick question I wanted to ask you about. There's so much talk about the offense of that 79 team, but being a catcher, that pitching staff held its own as well.
Oh, we had an excellent pitching staff, and I think if Chuck Tanner was here, he'd say we're the only World Series winners that didn't have a 15-game winner on our staff. But what it was an accumulation of everybody went out and did their job. You know, the Grant Jacksons, the Kent Colbys, you know, and everybody. And then you got guys like Matt Alexander and Dale Bear that come in and relieve guys for a day off here and there. It was just a total team effort, and that's what it takes to win a World Series. It takes the whole team, not just one or two individuals.
All right, thanks so much for the time. Enjoy the rest of the night.
You're welcome. I sure will.
Hey, Steve, the game may be over in the ninth inning, but the party will be going on much longer. Come on up.
Game on.
Steve Lass will be up.
You got it,
Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks, Dan. Ed Ott, who almost didn't have a vowel in his last name.
Well, and Felix Millan almost didn't have a life to live after Ed Ott dribbled him between first and second in Shea Stadium one night. Literally dribbled him. If you get into it with Ed Ott, you better finish him off because he's going to keep coming at you. He's one tough guy and one great competitor.
Looks like he's having a great time tonight.
Yep.
3-1 to Chris Dickerson, the left fielder. Charlie Morton winds in the 3-1, is outside, ball for a leadoff walk for Dickerson. Let's look at tonight's plays that made you smile, brought to you by our friends at Aspen Dental. Charlie Morton getting into a bit of a jam last inning. There's LaRoche with a backhanded grab of a line drive. And Micah Owings going up the middle, or is it? Cedeno throws him out, and Charlie Morton gets off the hook.
Might have to do it again here in the fifth inning. He did that, by the way, all three of those plays after 2 on and nobody out. Kept the Reds off the scoreboard. Nice zero he put up.
Through Stubbs towards second. Cedeno. He's got one. He's got two.
Yeah. 6-3 on your scorecard. Number 1 in Charlie Morton's heart. Perfect opportunity for Cedeno, and Stubbs really runs well. This should have been really routine with about 3 steps to spare, but Stubbs got down the line. Nice job by Cedeno to get this done. 6-3. I don't think he's going to have a chance with the exchange at second base, and that's nothing against Delwyn Young. I don't think anybody could have turned it if they had to involve a pivot, because Stubbs simply runs that well.
Joey Votto takes ball 1. Ronnie Cedeno continuing to get it done. You know, he's been very solid defensively. He's done a good job offensively. He's done whatever he's been asked to do. Votto hits this one up in the air to right center. Garrett Jones.
There you go. Way to go, Charlie Morton. Get yourself in the dugout, get yourself a cup of water, and relax.
Well, the walk, the double play, and the flyout. 4-1. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Pirates with the lead. So we take a look at our farm report tonight. Neil Walker.
How about this?
How about that? Pine Richland High School.
64 ribbies in 84 games. Nice.
He is pounding the ball. Daniel McCutcheon looking good. Daniel Mosco's also looking good for Double-A Altoona.
Neil Walker got off to a really rough start. Didn't do much hitting at all, but he has been swinging a very, very hot bat recently. Well, Charlie didn't get a chance to relax very much. He's up there with a bat, trying to keep his perfect night intact at the plate. 1 for 1.
Yeah, Charlie's acting like a slugger. See that grip? That's kind of like the old Ty Cobb grip.
Well, if he starts to lift that front foot and keep the hands separated, I want some of what he's having.
Now that is a very old school grip on the bat. Look how far apart his hands are. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this one toward the middle. He is out, but Morton had a bid on another base hit.
That was a terrific play by Mr. Sutton.
Charlie had this one up the middle.
Hit this ball hard, and Sutton made a good play and a quick release. He didn't have to really hurry all that much once he got the ball, but he does. Nicely done. It's actually a little risky because got a sure thing if he comes down, just throws the ball. But you know, you can throw that ball away. But it was a great throw.
Andrew McCutcheon is 0 for 2. Popped out to Joey Vottle, the first baseman, and reached in a fielder's choice, but came home on the 3-run shot by Garrett Jones in the 3rd. And the strike is called. 0-1 to McCutcheon. McCutcheon watched his fellow Floridian Lastings Millage hit a solo shot last inning. The power part of Millage's bat starting to come around.
Good to see.
1-1 to McCutcheon. He'll take that for strike 2. McCutcheon's got some power. He's got 7 home runs. 3 of those came in 1 game. First Pirate
I want to see him. I want to see him
hit
hit another triple. I like to see him hit triples.
It's exciting. And he lifts this one deep to left center field. And this one is off the wall. You might have your triple. Here comes McCutcheon. He's safe with a triple.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. I'll tell you, coming around second base, he just flat outrun the baseball. Hits it to the notch. Game on.
I don't know what I'm more impressed with, his speed or the fact that you called that triple.
His speed. You know, it's kind of a leisurely trip to first base, and then he turns it on.
He hits go right there. If there's a faster man in baseball, we haven't seen him yet.
Well, it's a perfect spot for him to hit the ball, and he had a little height on it, so there's a little time involved. And it's fun to watch. It really is.
6th triple. And now Delwyn Young, an opportunity to bring him in. The infield has been brought in for Cincinnati.
This is the kind of game that you haven't put anything away, but every time you add a little notch, if the Pirates score 1, it probably seems like 2 or 3 to the Reds. So you want to get this run and add 1 more. Just add 1 more.
1-1. Already action. Carlos Fisher getting loose for the Reds. If you're Delwyn Young, safe play here. Just try to drive one somewhere. If you get a fly ball in the outfield, so be it. That'll score McCutcheon.
Just saw Chris Spire, former major leaguer, bench coach for Dusty.
Pirates will head to Cincinnati on the next road trip. Milwaukee first, then Cincinnati. Haven't been to Cincinnati since April. The game was rained out there. There'll be a doubleheader on the 31st of August. So 4 games coming up on that trip. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And this one fouled away. And that second game of the doubleheader will be carried here on FSN. But that's at the end of the month. One and 2 to Delwyn Young. McCutchen at third. And this one roped to right field and deep. That'll get the run in. McCutchen scores easily. An RBI for Delwyn Young. It's 5-1 Pirates. Let's check out how we got to this point with tonight's game summary, brought to you by A&L Motors. Garrett Jones, hammer time to right field. Drives in 3 with McCutchen and Young on base. That would make it a 3-1 ball game. Lasting's Millage would get a home run to make it 4-1, now 5-1, with the sacrifice fly by Delwyn Young scoring McCutchen after McCutchen's triple. Here is Jones again. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're talking about the doubleheader with Cincinnati. The Cubs today announced that they'll play a doubleheader with the Pirates on September 30th. It'll be a day-night doubleheader that day. That's the next trip into Chicago for the Bucks. After that Sunday game was rained out. Now the first, Votto will handle it. And that'll do it, but another run is added on. McCutchen a triple and Young the sacrifice fly, and Micah Owings and the Reds have fallen behind. The Bucks with the lead after 5. Jones has a home run. Millage has a home run. Charlie Morton struck out 2 through 5. He also has a base hit. And we've got action down the stretch. Photo finish. And it was by the bridge of the glasses that Oliver Onion would win. And Oliver might have won the race, but he would not win a race against that man right there, Andrew McCutchen.
A little perspective for Charlie Morton tonight, Tim. Ball fouled away. The last home start, that kind of weird start, he gave up 1 run in 5 innings, but he threw, I think, 94 pitches. I think he just delivered his 65th pitch, and here we are in the 6th inning. So far, a lot more efficient.
0-1 to Nix.
Watch out.
The ball and the bat both go foul, but in different directions. There's the bat. Now he wants his gamer back.
Catch and release.
Whoops. It's at moments like that you forget about the baseball. The bat has a little bit more mass to it.
You forget about a lot of things.
0-2. Morton against Lance Nix. 1-2.
Good try. Good try inside fastball, 92 miles an hour.
Lance Nix made a great catch in the 4th inning to rob Ryan Doman. Diving forward to take away the line drive. 2-2. In case you missed it earlier, Bert Blyleven and Phil Garner, members of the 79 Bucks, were here in the booth with us. Garner, 3-time All-Star, and Blyleven, 3,701 strikeouts.
I'll tell you what, if I had a vote for the Hall of Fame, Bert Blyleven would be in Cooperstown.
I'm sure he'd be happy to hear you say that.
I will convey that to him. We had a quick inning. I was going to get into that subject. One of the best curveballs ever. In fact, in my mind, the best right-handed curveball I ever saw. Koufax had the best left-handed.
Here's the 2-2. Got him. Nix down on strikes. The 1979 celebration weekend will continue tomorrow night when the Pirates host the Reds in Game 2. Disco legends KC and the Sunshine Band will be performing all of their hit songs live from the field right after the game. To get your tickets, you can call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or visit pirates.com. KC and the Sunshine Band, the Pirates and the Reds tomorrow night.
Yep, KC's looking good too.
Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Adam Rosales is thrown out by Ronnie Cedeno. Quickly 2 down in the Cincinnati 6th. Well, talking about Blyleven too, I believe this is the last year of eligibility before he would have to go to the Veterans Committee. Was that correct?
That I don't know.
I think he's right around there. If it's not this year, it's right around that time. He got a no-hitter in his career, threw it while with the Rangers against the team he followed as a boy, the California Angels. That was back in '77.
A lot of complete games.
I think the one thing, if you want to get into a heated discussion, tell Blyleven that you're a fan of the pitch count.
Yeah, and then duck.
1-0 pitch. 1-1 now to Sutton. And he's like a lot of pitchers from that era. They don't believe in it. Now it's
we didn't
really,
grow up with that. We didn't grow up with a pitch count.
It's the way it is today, though.
The hitters told us what our pitch count was. If they were hitting you, it was too many.
1-1 to left and down the line. Millage over near the track, and Charlie Morton.
Nice, Charlie. Nice.
Has the 3rd inning where he's faced 3 hitters. The bat of Ryan Domit. And Cedeno robbed here by the shortstop Paul Janisch. And Domit robbed again, this time by Lance Nix. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer.
Carlos Fisher will come on to replace Micah Owings, who went 5 innings, giving up 5 runs on 5 hits, struck out a batter and walked a batter. Carlos Fisher, recalled from Louisville in the month of May, this rookie making his 29th appearance. The rest of his numbers, 41 innings basically and 37 strikeouts. He's had a little control issue, more walks than he'd like to have up on that board, but here he is in the bottom of the 6th.
And he will face Andy LaRoche. Andy's 0 for 2 tonight. And that one's ball 1. Andy grounded out to the shortstop Janisch in the 2nd inning, and then flied out to Dickerson in left field in the 3rd. I think Andy was the first player to put the pillbox cap on today. At least the first one out on the field. He was out in t-shirt and shorts taking ground balls from infield instructor Perry Hill, and at a time he was the only one who had the pillbox cap on. Then Delwyn Young followed, and they all started to slowly filter out eventually with the pillbox hats on. They thought it was kind of neat. John Russell went in, put his on, and came back out. Tomorrow night they'll wear the black ones instead of the gold pillbox hats. They'll have a different looking 1979 uniform for tomorrow.
And they'll all know who KC and the Sunshine Band.
Janisch throws out LaRoche for the 2nd time tonight. And on Sunday, that's not enough. It's another giveaway day. All kids 14 and under will get a 1979 batting helmet, courtesy of Pirates.com, modeled by Andrew McCutcheon. It's Kids Day at the ballpark. Family Fun Zone pregame on Federal Street. Kids get to run the bases after the game. 1-800-BUY-BUCKS or Pirates.com will get you tickets. It's also a Kids Get In Free Day brought to you by Panera Bread. You get a voucher at any Panera Bread. Run down to the box office. If you're a kid, get in free. Special day on Sunday. Nothing in 1. This time Domit backs out of there, waiting to see what Domit's going to do. He has really clobbered the ball twice and been robbed by 2 terrific plays by Cincinnati's outfielders.
And then gets a little high necker in. A little high necker in, that used to be the phrase for up and in under the chin.
What's the phrase again?
High necker in.
High necker in.
Sounds a little borderline, but it's okay.
No violations?
No, we're edgy, but that was a very common phrase around the game. This is gonna take a minute so I can tell the story. When Phil was up talking about the rivalry between the Pirates and the Phillies, one of my favorites, and he mentioned that Keese and Mike Schmidt, the way I heard one of them, this adds injury to insult here. But Buster hit Schmidt, and Schmidt looked out at him and said, "If you hit me again, I'm coming out there to get you." And Buster said, "Well, why wait?" So he comes out, and they got into it pretty good, and Bruce Keeson did not come out on the bad end of it.
2-2. We see him around.
Yeah, we see him in spring training. Bruce is here this weekend, and he came up as a rookie protecting his part of the strike zone and other parts of the direction he's throwing the ball. He did not want anybody diving over home plate to take his outside pitch away.
3-2. Domit still alive. Then we saw Bruce down in Florida too in the Marlins series. So Bruce Keeson.
Fine major league career from the state of Washington. Ironic that he is here and he is an employee of the Baltimore Orioles after all the dust has settled. With the Pirates in '71 beating the Orioles, and with the Pirates in '79 beating the Orioles, and now he works for them. He's on report.
3-2. Do it again. Ryan Doumit waiting for a pitch he can drive, and he's just missed a couple of them. Doumit 0 for 2. He awaits the payoff pitch from Carlos Fisher. And they've got that shift on Doumit.
Now they got the wave going. Everybody's moving.
Was the wave around in '79? I don't think it was.
Don't recall it.
I think it started later. Payoff again. He got him swinging. So 2 men are out. Our Barrel League leaders stat tonight focuses on a stat from 1979. The extra base hit leaders in the National League. Dave Parker with 77. Then there's Bruce Keeson's guy, Mike Schmidt, Dave Kingman, King Kong, Larry Parrish, and Dave Winfield. Boy, those are some heavy hitting names.
Mike
from
Schmidt,
that era of baseball.
Michael Jack Schmidt, as Harry Callis called it on that Saturday afternoon, hit his 500th home run at Three Rivers Stadium.
Millage takes strike one. Lance Dings Millage told me yesterday about his little fan club that showed up for the ball game 2 days ago out in left field behind him, called the Millage People.
Good, I like it.
They are people that he met online when he was in New York as a Met.
Millage people.
And they will communicate every once in a while. And those folks drove in from New York just for that game 2 games ago against Milwaukee. And they had the Village People outfits on and the sign, the Millage People, in front of them. You saw the game on Wednesday. You remember it. It was very funny, very creative, and talked to him yesterday at the golf outing about that. He was proud of it. He said it's great. And that one gets away. Millage takes off, throw down, and he is out. So 2 strikeouts in the inning for the reliever, Carlos Fisher.
If you will, the City of Champions, the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Pittsburgh Pirates on December 24th, 1979, both gracing the cover of Sports Illustrated thanks to Willie Stargell and Terry Bradshaw. Guys, I would think that if anyone was lucky enough to get that photograph signed by both those guys, you're either going to sell it for a lot of money or it's going to be your most prized possession in your house.
Well, other than that shirt you're wearing, Dan.
Hey, my thanks to Scott Bonnet, the equipment manager for the Pirates, who was kind enough, Bonesy was kind enough to hook me up, but I got to return it.
I want you to sign it for me.
Oh no, that will depreciate the value.
He knows where you are, Dan. He'll find the shirt. That was a double issue too in Sports Illustrated. Had to be for both
Sportsman of the Year,
Stargell and Bradshaw.
What a way to cap off a decade, huh? The Steelers and the Pirates winning championships. Did that happen? The Mets and the Jets did that too, didn't they? 69?
69.
Yep.
Super Bowl III. Yep. Jets beat the
Joe Willie, Namath.
Colts. 1-1.
And the Miracle Mets won.
And Hannigan to right field.
How about this run that Mr. Morton is on? He has now faced the last 10 batters. He's faced the minimum for the last 10 batters. He got the help of the double play. He's on a nice roll.
I will say this, though, Steve, having witnessed that game in Chicago where he gave up the 10 runs in 1+ inning, this is not the same guy out there.
Doesn't look like the same one.
Chavez loosening up now, but he does not look like the same pitcher. What a difference a week makes.
Well, he looks like the pitcher that people were raving about when we got him from the Atlanta Braves right now.
His quote after the game was that he was embarrassed about the whole situation. He had never been hit like that in his life. It was a week ago today.
When it rained, it poured.
It did.
I'm sorry.
He just couldn't resist. And this one goes to center field, cut off. And Paul Yanish has a base hit. Well, think about that, too. And the reason it was a week ago was because of the rain out. Kevin Hart kept his spot of the rotation, but Ross Ollendorf, who was supposed to pitch on Sunday, got moved ahead, which pushed everybody else back. And couple that with the day off yesterday, Morton gets a whole week in between starts. Kevin Barker hitting for the pitcher Fisher. And you see Kip Wells there. Come in to pitch for Dusty Baker.
Well, we got the double play nicely served up in the top of the 5th inning. It would be just as nice here in the 7th.
This one will curl foul. 0-2, so Morton ahead of Barker.
Just 3 strikeouts for Charlie, and that's fine. There's no problem with that. Got the first 2 in the first inning, 1 more in the 6th. That's secondary to the number of outs he's posting up.
Barker now 1-2. Barker was promoted Friday of last week when the Reds traded Alex Gonzalez, the shortstop, to the Boston Red Sox. So they needed somebody to fill that spot, and Barker came up from AAA Louisville.
Still good speed, 93 miles an hour. Last pitch. Charlie's scheduled to bat 3rd in the bottom of the 7th.
And this one pretty well hit to left center field. It'll be cut off by McCutchen. He'll go to second, throw behind the runner, keep the force play in order with 1 out. So Barker a pinch hit single. That gets Yanish over to third base. Still an out to work with here. And that's going to do it. Charlie Morton is going to be finished for the night. John Russell, he's going right to the bullpen. And it looks as though he's going to get Jesse Chavez after Charlie Morton went 6 1/3 tonight, and a much more effective start than the last time around, to say the least. But again, he showed some good flashes tonight. And the Columbia Gas 811 call to the pen has been made. Nice hand for Charlie Morton as he leaves the ballgame.
That's when you're throwing a real good pitch. But throughout his stay tonight, Charlie Morton has been very effective. Good defense as Cedeno ranges up and gets the double play. Oh, he receives a nice hand, and we were wondering how he was going to be after that tough outing in Chicago. Well, Charlie Morton just fine, runs into the wall a little bit, and I think John Russell probably thinking, I want to preserve this as a real plus for Charlie and not really let it be tarnished if it gets away to some degree here in the 7th inning. So he gets him out of there, goes to Chavez, and we hope it gets cleaned up and keeps Charlie's line looking as good as it does right now.
So Chavez will pitch to the top of the order. Dickerson. Runners at the corners and one man out. Dickerson with a hit in the 3rd inning. Jesse Chavez making his staff leading 56th appearance. One 0 pitch. Now it's 1-1.
That's a better swing than he had against Charlie Morton. I didn't know quite how to explain that. He just thinking about something else, thinking about those 79 buckos.
That was a maybe I will, maybe I won't. Oops.
Yeah, and
I did it.
And I wish I didn't. I will, I won't. Wish I didn't.
This one right back to Chavez. He'll get the only out he can. A little bit awkward near the mound, and he didn't think he had enough time to get the runner at second base. So a run comes across, and it's 5-2.
And that's what happens to a pitcher. I think he thought that ball was going to get back to him quicker than it did. He jumps early, kind of resets, looks around, doesn't like second base, and he finally takes an out. I'm wondering what he could have done if he looked to third base at that point, but you don't want to get too complicated. So they score the run at the cost of an out. The Pirates still lead by 3. Kind of a funny looking little play. He was wondering if Dusty Baker is wondering if Steve Pearce maintained contact with first base on that throw.
Yeah, that's something that Dusty, I'm sure, doesn't want to see on video if it was indeed the case. It did appear at first look that Pearce may have lifted his foot up before he caught the ball.
.95 miles an hour from Mr. Chavez. Here's the run you want to save. You've got a 3-run lead. That's fairly comfortable, but you get a base hit now. It takes it down to 2. Whole different feel. This is really an out you want to get right here.
Barker at second base, still the responsibility of Morton. 2-0 to Stubbs. Stubbs 0 for 3, hit into a double play in the 5th. And last night, Stubbs hit the home run against San Francisco. Walk-off shot. Not bad for his second day in the big leagues.
I think there was another big leaguer by the name of Franklin Stubbs way back when.
An aspiring one named Stubby Clapp. Ended up playing for the Canadian Olympic team, but he was a long-time AAA guy, one of those 4A players.
I think we heard about him in spring training this year.
3 balls and a strike. (3-1) now, and Stubbs walks. So yesterday in Cincinnati, Great American Ballpark, hits the foul pole. That's off Bob Howry. Howry has given up 3 walk-offs this year, and all 3 have been to rookies.
Welcome to the big leagues.
Garrett Jones, one of those rookies, along with 3 Stubbs. 2 men are out, top of the 7th inning. First and second, 5-2 the score.
Here's a big matchup. Joey Votto having a very good year. Jesse Chavez looking for the 3rd out here in the 7th.
And Votto rips this one, and gloved by Delwyn Young. Oh, what a play by the Pirates second baseman. An inning saver. A run saver. Delwyn Young gets the Bucks to the plate. An assist of the game, and it just happened. Delwyn Young off the bat of Joey Votto extends his body, lays out, and he's able to get the Reds first baseman and end the inning. Terrific play, and that is tonight's Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Big out for the Pirates in a 5-2 ball game.
Delwyn Young got great response on the way back to the dugout.
Now we get to see an old pal, Kip Wells.
Who's coming to get him now?
Chavez, yeah.
Everybody
likes that play. I think you realize the importance of that play. That keeps the inning going. That gets him within 2. Who knows what comes after that?
He's consulting there with Perry Hill.
Kip Wells became a Pirate after coming over from the Chicago White Sox in 2002, where he's a 12-game winner.
Pierce swings and misses.
And with Texas, St. Louis, Colorado, Kansas City, Washington. It's been quite a trail traveled by Kip Wells.
This one just fouled down third. Pierce tonight 0 for 2. He flied out to left and popped out to second. And finds himself behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. 214 the average has dipped down to. Trying to find a way to get it back up there. And he's called out on strikes.
Well, Kip still has some zip on that fastball, 94 miles an hour, as he did when he came over with Josh Fogg from the White Sox way back when.
Well, you can follow your Pirates on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, and live audio broadcasts. Visit Pirates.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch to purchase. Did you download everything on your iPod Touch?
I didn't get to it. It was a busy day. Just on my to-do list tomorrow.
You didn't sync it with your laptop?
Beg your pardon?
Have to remember, Steve is not wired for wireless, so he's all right. Cedeno, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Program for people instead of made for machines.
Jesse Chavez, a word with Joe Kerrigan, pitching coach. Ramon Vasquez out on deck. He'll hit next for the pitcher Chavez. 1 out, and the 1-1 pitch to Cedeno. 1-2. You don't like all this new technology, do you?
I don't mind it. I just choose to not be heavily involved.
Joel Hanrahan. Joel was out on the links with us yesterday. There's the 1-2. 2-2. Cedeno so far tonight 0 for 2, but he had that one that probably could have been one. Paul Janisch went up and got it. Hard line drive nearly over the shortstop's head, and Janisch snow-coned it to bring it in. Pitch to Ronnie on the way.
Off the shin. Hopefully hit the shin guard. Is he wearing a shin? I can't tell with these the softball pants.
He's got one on there.
Yep.
Little one. Yep. And that's the thing, though, in 79, the pants weren't that way. The style the guys wear with the low
riders.
Low riders over the heel. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Wells. Sounded like he broke his bat.
Sure did.
Rosales will throw him out. And there are 2 away for Ramon Vasquez, or will it not be Ramon Vasquez? Looks like Brandon Moss will take his place. The Pirates making a roster move today as Evan Meek has been shut down. He's had the oblique strain, and they decided today to place Evan Meek on the 60-day disabled list. So Phil Dumontre activated from the 60-day DL and was brought up from AAA Indianapolis. Jeff Karsten's on the bereavement list. His grandmother is very ill, and Karsten's left the team to be with her. Brandon Moss hitting. And Phil Dumontre.
Got a lefty in the bullpen.
Yep, now they do have a left-hander. And Evan Meek working on those sunflower seeds. One ball and no strikes. And Moss fouls it away. Now, if you're a guy like Meek and you've got almost a full month left of the season, a little bit more than a month left of the season, and you know you're shut down the rest of the way, your job, number 1, get healthy, but number 2, there's a lot of work to be done in the offseason. And last year he went to Mexico, played winter ball there, actually went to the World Series there, and pitched very well, and it helped him a lot coming into spring training this year. Solidified his spot, and Meek had pitched very well for the Pirates in 09.
Well, that's different from the 79 Pirates, too. If you get shut down in the middle of August in 79, you go to the beach.
Well, times have changed.
Times have changed. Absolutely.
Nobody on, 2 down for Brandon Moss. Inside. Did you ever have you never had injury problems, did you?
No, no, I really didn't. Got hit on the elbow a couple times. Joe Torre put me on the DL for about 5 weeks with an elbow shot.
Did you go to the beach?
No, but I went home. I couldn't do anything, so I went home. Not for long.
And Moss down on strikes, and Kip Wells has a clean inning in the 7th. We'll go to the 8th. It's a 5-2 lead for the Bucks. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Back here at PNC Park with Steve Blass and Dan Potash. I'm Tim Neverett. 5-2 is the score, and Joel Hanrahan comes on for the 54th time.
At 48 innings, 53 strikeouts. That works. I still can't get over that swing in the first inning. I haven't seen a swing like that in the last 15 years. I really haven't.
Well, that looked like a gate
that
with one hinge.
Yeah, the rusty gate. Yeah, the old rusty gate.
0-1 to Lance Nix. Hanrahan's pitch. Fouled back, 0-2. Joel Hanrahan has done a nice job lately. He pitched 2 nights ago in the Pirates' 3-1 win over the Brewers. Backing up Paul Maholm, came in for a third of an inning of hitless and scoreless relief. And a couple outings before that on the 17th. That would be Monday. 2/3 of an inning. He walked a couple, was tagged for a run, but the Pirates would win at 9-5. He was able to get guys out after he struggled to start. One ball and 2 strikes now to Lance Nix. Earlier in the year, Lance Nix was in the mix to be an outfielder, at least one of the starting outfielders.
Nix in the mix.
He was in there, but that plan got nixed early, and he was not.
Keep going. You got it. You're on a roll.
This one to left field. That's going to be a double, perhaps, as Nix will round first base. And he goes into second with a double. And for Lance, that's his 25th of the year. He's now 2 for 4 on the night.
Does the proper thing as a major league hitter. Doesn't try to pull a ball. It's running out away from him and drops it down into the left field corner. And now Ryan Doman out to talk with Joel Hanrahan, make sure they're on the same page with their signs with the runner at second base.
And Adam Rosales at the plate. He can be a tough out at times. He's 1 for 3, had a single to lead off the 4th inning. He's flying out and grounded out, but he does make good contact, and Hanrahan needs to worry about 1 out at a time right now. Starts him off with strike 1.
In the search for 6 outs, you probably would be okay making a deal getting an out for 90 feet here. But you'd just as soon not have to give up the 90 feet for an out. And Hanrahan is out in front, and he's out in front with a breaking ball. That puts him in a nice position because his #1 pitch is the fastball. But he's just gotten a strike with his second best pitch. It's a nice place for a pitcher to be in. 0-2.
Did he get him? The appeal to first, and Paul Schreiber said that he did not go.
I thought it was a great emphatic appeal by Ryan Doman. He came out of the chute like it was a sure thing and couldn't sell the deal. I hate to keep saying it, but that looks like one of those really typical 50-50 deals. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
And he got him that time.
There you go.
So Rosales down on strikes.
And again, that's a nice position to be in. You get him with a breaking ball, and he knows, the batter up there knows his best pitch is a fastball. Might be out a little early, and as a result, swings at a bad pitch. 1 out.
So Drew Sutton coming to the plate to face Hanrahan. I mentioned about Lance Nix being in the mix for an outfield spot. Just to give you an idea, out of spring training, the first time the Pirates played the Reds back on the 11th of April. Pitch to Sutton is lined to left field. That's going to get down. Millage will get the ball back in, and runners at the corners. The outfield was Hairston in left, Taveras in center, and Bruce in right. They had Encarnacion at third, Gonzalez at shortstop, Brandon Phillips at second base, Ramon Hernandez behind the plate. Johnny Cueto pitching. He's also in the deal. The only guy in that lineup who's on the field today is Joey Votto. And so Nix has been playing a lot lately. Stubbs has been called up recently to play in the outfield. Chris Dickerson, who was platooning with Hairston at the time. Everybody else different.
They miss a lot of them. Really miss Jay Bruce. He's kind of a cornerstone of that ball club. Phenom that was bought up, rookie phenom, very impressive, but he's got a bad wrist.
Ryan Hannigan swings and misses.
Double play candidate. Most catchers are.
Shortstop Ronnie Cedeno and Delwyn Young conversing, and you see where Young is playing against the right-handed hitter. He's playing him up the middle, and with Pierce holding the runner at first, that right side's wide open for Hannigan.
Hanrahan against Hannigan.
And that's strike two.
Thank you for that call, Mr. Estabrook. See how good it looks from here. You get that call on occasion. That ball might have got the strike zone before it got all the way back to the catcher. Might have just nicked that corner.
Cedeno ready to go. Here's the 0-2 to Hannigan. That's away.
Good save.
Just a follow up on that lineup I talked about, how these guys have been hurt. 6 players have had surgeries on the Reds, surgical procedures. Ramon Hernandez had his left knee operated on. Alex Gonzalez, right elbow. Pitcher Mike Lincoln, he had a problem with the back, had surgery there. Wilkin Castillo. Edinson Volquez. Tommy John. And that pitch low and away. 2-2.
Remember the phenoms in spring training, Edinson Volquez and Johnny Cueto? I mean, and they were impressive. They were very impressive. What, both of them out? Cueto just going on the deal.
Danny Richard also having surgery. So 6 different Reds going under the knife for arthroscopy, one or the other. Jared Burton loosening for Cincinnati. It's a 5-2 lead for the Bucks. Runner goes, throw down, and they got it.
What a perfect throw by Ryan Doman, and it had to be perfect. And the Reds run into a very costly out. I thought it was a done deal, but the perfect throw by Doman made it happen. Watch this. You talk about on the money. Doesn't have to move the glove. He's waiting there with the glove, and the ball is right there. Anywhere else, it's a stolen base, and the Reds are really in business.
Delwyn Young just let Sutton tag himself out.
And the whole feel of this 8th inning turns around. Completely turns around.
3-2 to Hannigan. To the right side, and there's Delwyn Young again. DY is playing some good D.
Grab your bag. It's on.
Five-two Pirates in front, and Ryan Domit with a perfect throw. You cannot make a better throw than that to throw a runner out. And Drew Sutton.
Yeah, this is when you're a real professional. You're not hitting, but you're happy with what you did with the glove there. That's a big time professional look. You like to see that. So Ryan Domit gets to carry something away from this ballgame. Everybody on that bench realizes the importance of that play he just made.
Andrew McCutchen starts the bottom of the 8th. Takes ball 1. Kip Wells looked good in the bottom of the 7th, retiring 3 in a row, striking out 2. You got Pierce and Moss on strikes. McCutchen with a triple last time up in the 5th. Just after Steve ordered one up.
Well, when you're a psychic, it just takes so much out of you when you predict something that comes true. I mean, usually it takes a while before you're just emotionally able to do it again. I'm going to pass right now.
To short left, and coming on is Dickerson. But you already knew that was going to happen.
Well, I had a feel for it. Yeah.
Where were you the other night when the Powerball was hit? Could have used you then.
I was waiting for it to get up a little bit where it made it worthwhile for me.
Okay.
We had a winner in the Powerball. What, 250 million, something like that.
Yeah. South Carolina,
plus or minus.
Somebody there. Delwyn Young, first ball swinging, pops it up. And that will take care of Delwyn Young. 2 men are out. Kip Wells has come on in relief to retire 5 in a row. This Thursday, the Pirates will take on the Phillies at 7:05. It's a T-shirt Thursday. All fans receive a Pirates T-shirt sponsored by Dale Property Services. Penn. Whenever they enter the ballpark. For tickets, visit Pirates.com or call 1-800-BUY-BUCKS. T-shirt Thursday. Make sure you're out here to add to your wardrobe. Here's Garrett Jones. He homered in the 3rd. Drove in 3. And the Jones shift is on. This is not necessarily the time that he would lay one down up by 3 in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, there's no reason to. You got a lead. You're looking for 3 outs. You might be able to add on with 1 swing of the bat.
But he burned the Brewers when the Bucks needed a base runner. He laid one down 3rd. They just gave it to him, and he took it.
Yeah. As a power hitter like Garrett is, you pick your spots for those kind of situations, and he did a nice job when he had the opportunity to do that.
2-1 to Jones. And I don't think teams forget about his speed, especially coming out of the left side batter's box. We talk about how well he runs all the time, but that just added to it. There was no throw, nobody there to get the baseball when he bunted it against Milwaukee. This one fouled away. 2-2 to Jones. Matt Capps is up and throwing, and he will come on in the top of the 9th inning. So you're trying to save it for Charlie Morton.
Kip Wells, when you look at Kip again this year with the Reds, 33 innings, 25 strikeouts. That's good, but again the walks, and that's been kind of a theme for Kip pretty much throughout his career. Too many walks.
3-2.
The stuff he has, and you eliminate those walks, and it's not that the walks themselves are the killers, but it just gets to the point where with his stuff, as he pitches, if he pitched throughout his career in front in the count, I mean, I'm convinced it would be a different career.
Yeah, Kip's got a lot of suitcases from a lot of teams, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And because he still has a very live arm, he'll get opportunities to pitch. It's just not the walks. It's pitching behind in the count for a lot of different years.
Payoff pitch again coming. Tee it up one more time. The Reds will have the bottom of the order coming up, 8, 9, and 1. Two outs and a full count. Nobody aboard for Garrett Jones. Here's the pitch from Wells. And he got him. Ball gets away, but Hannigan goes down to first and gets him. And Wells strikes out 3 in 2 innings of relief. The big bull rider, Matt Capps, will try to slam the door shut on the Reds when we come back. You the game segment. Andy LaRoche schools us on the art of fielding the bunt.
I'd say 5 feet in on the grass, and you're going to be expecting the bunt. Well, as soon as he squares around, you're going to start creeping in, and as soon as the pitcher releases it, you're going to come running in. As long as he doesn't pull back and try to swing, you're going to come running in. If the ball's, hit to you, nice and easy, and just throw it across.
You can catch the entire tip on Sunday's Pirates pregame show beginning at 1 o'clock right here on FSN Pittsburgh. During the course of the weekend, we continue to celebrate 1979 as the We Are Family Bucks uniforms on display tonight. 5-2. Matt Capps, the big bull rider, on, looking for another save.
Vladimir Valentin, is that how you pronounce this young man's name?
You got it right. Valentin will be hitting for Giannis.
Pirates 3 outs away from extending their modest win streak. Sometimes that the last 3 outs are tough to come by, but we hope that Matt can get it done. The Pirates, little string of pearls going.
Valentin was acquired from the Mariners. Swings and fouls this one away. For right-handed pitcher Robert Manuel in the 14th of this month. .282 is his average. So Vladimir Valentin hitting here in the top of the 9th. Matt Capps trying to get him out. And this one to the left side. There is LaRoche. 1 down. Well, in case you missed it from around Major League Baseball, here are some of the stories.
Billy the Kid.
How about that? Boston needs them. They're being blown out by the Yankees 15-4 in the 6th at Fenway. Ricketts family buying the Cubs, $845 million. Jacoby Ellsbury, 54 stolen bases. And Justin Morneau will miss the weekend series. He's going to enter ear infection, so he won't play against the Royals. Cubs finally sold. That's been a long, ongoing thing. So 2 outs to go. Johnny Gomes pinch hitting for the pitcher Kip Wells.
I guess that was a bargain. What was the asking price? $900 million? went for 845. By the way, a little birdie tells I've got a scoop about the Texas Rangers that I might just bring out. I don't know, over the weekend. There could be something very interesting with the Rangers.
Is that right?
Yep.
You're not going to spill it here with one out in the ninth?
I can't. I don't even know why I said it. It was just so much fun to say it.
You're such a tease, Steve. 1-1 pitch, and Gomes now behind 1-2. Capps picked up his 22nd save on Wednesday against Milwaukee, pitching a perfect ninth, striking out 1-2, and it's fouled back. Matt Capps took a little off the top there.
Well, he did. And Paul Mahallam also.
They must have visited the same barber.
And fell asleep in the chair. Whatever works. Get her done. Get her done, Matt.
Count even now to Gomes.
Nice looking little teaser slider, 87 miles an hour, just off the outside corner. That'll work.
Lasting's Millage waits and waits some more. And he makes the catch, 1 out away. Let's take a look at the road ahead for the Buccos. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock here on FSN, the finale of the 3-game series. Sunday, 1:30 start, then 3 with the world champion Phillies. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all games right here on FSN, bringing the game to you. And tomorrow, the 1979 team reunited on the field. We will have all of the activities on the field tomorrow. Coverage beginning at 6:30.
Okay.
Dickerson takes a strike.
And this crowd of over 22,000 enjoying this one. The Pirates have played a good, solid baseball game tonight. Looking for one more out. The folks are standing up. A few of them waving their conductor hats.
0-1. That's outside. Well, it's not Dave Parker and Omar Moreno and Manny Sanguin and Kent Tekulve and all the rest, but this similarly clad group of Pirates has played well tonight. 1-1. And they're trying to win their 4th in a row after sweeping Milwaukee in the first series of the homestand. And this kid is going to have a headache.
Hey, having fun with a parrot. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, put the hex on him.
2-1. Ooh, 3-1. And now Capps trying to come back. A little bit behind in the count here. That'll be quite some reunion tomorrow. You don't want to miss the pregame festivities. Here's the 3-1. Ground ball towards second. A diving stop by Young. And the ball jumps out of his glove, and Dickerson is aboard in the 9th.
Good try. He has had a busy night at second base, Delwyn Young. That's going to be an awkward play if he gets the glove around it, because he's in a very tough position to try to get up, turn around, and get a throw over to first base. Who knows?
Chris Dickerson, his run doesn't mean anything at this point. Drew Stubbs at the plate. Joey Votto on deck. His run means something. And Matt Capps wants to make sure Votto stays on deck. He would represent the tying run. 1-0 now to Stubbs, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. There goes the runner, and they will let him go.
These like
will not be a stolen base. Defensive indifference is the call. Ryan Doman having a word with Caps after he starts Drew Stubbs. 2 balls and no strikes. So the big Georgian Matt Caps trying to come back on Stubbs and deliver a strike. 2-0 pitch. Stubbs will be looking for something good here. And he got a strike. Here comes the 2-1. Strike 2, just caught the corner.
And the Pirate pitchers have gotten that call a couple times tonight, at least one previous time. And Matt gets it at a very important point in this ball game right here.
Two outs, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Do it again. Right to the Parrot.
Mark Berry over to the Parrot. Clean play.
He's going to keep that ball. Two balls, 2 strikes. Caps getting ready on the hill.
A little reach back for something extra there, and got a little something extra. 94 miles an hour upstairs, and Stubbs did a good job staying with that one. That was a lot of old-fashioned backyard high heat.
Well, we'll see what Caps comes back with here.
Matt has been in recent outings has been not necessarily using the fastball to set up the slider, but he's been using the slider a good bit more.
Again, the 2-2 pitch.
Goes to it again.
Cedeno bobbles. And the tying run will now come to the plate in the 9th.
That hurt. That hurt a lot.
And that'll be charged in error to Ronnie Cedeno.
And no room for error with the speed that Stubbs brings to the plate. He hustles his way down to first base. And now the fat's in the fire.
Well, could have been the ball game right there, but
and should have been.
Ball jumped up on Cedeno and he misplayed it.
And the player that Dusty Baker wants to the plate is coming to the plate, Joey Votto.
Now, Votto has faced Caps only twice. He struck him out once, and Votto got a hit off him driving in a run.
Well, when you get down to cases, you can live with a base hit. You can live with a double. You cannot obviously live with something up and in inside part of the plate that you can jump on.
First and third, 2 down, top of the 9th. Pirates a 3-run lead. And Caps to the plate. Votto swings and fouls it away. 0-1.
That wasn't the shorten up and try to get a base hit swing either. That was I want to tie up the ball game swing.
Votto 3-0-2 in the 7th inning or later.
Well, we might have to stand up for this one, Tim. I don't know.
Getting nervous?
It's getting a little dicey.
To Delwyn Young, and this will be the ball game. And the Pirates have won 4 in a row. Matt Capps picks up another save, his 23rd. And they're getting ready for a little fun in center field. So the 2009 Pirates do the 79 Pirates proud tonight on game 1 of 79 celebration weekend. The Jolly Roger has gone up the flagpole.
Well, a little shaky in the 9th inning, but the Pirates, other than that, played a very good ball game. A couple of long balls early. Charlie Morton was much better, and the Pirates get the job done with a bullpen, and yeah, win number 4. It makes it a lot more fun.
Oh, waving that flag around tonight. We're back at it tomorrow night as the Pirates' 1979 World Series celebration weekend continues against the Reds on FSN Pittsburgh. It'll be Justin Lear against Zach Duke. Greg Brown and Steve Blass bringing the TV call. Our coverage begins with Pirates pregame at 6:30 right here on FSN. Once again, the final score, Pirates 5, Cincinnati 2. For Steve and our entire FSN crew, I'm Tim Neverett. Stay tuned. Pirates postgame comes your way next.